Thank you for watching Tech 2's instructional video on the ESNA Tech version 7 UC Client Manager. This time we're going to talk about some other options that you can get to through your UC Client Manager. Now, we've already talked about the web client. Next thing we want to talk about is the LAN Talk client. The LAN Talk allows you to do an internal chat program so that if somebody's on the phone or if you need to get them a quick message, you can go ahead and send a chat to somebody else inside the organization. So if we go ahead and do LAN Talk, it's going to bring up a little box and it's going to ask me who. Now, if I know their extension number, I can look it up by extension. Just do enter and it brings up 201 Stacy Gaskell. If I don't know their extension, but I do know their name, if I go to make a LAN Talk, if I type in their name, it'll do the same thing. Now, if there were several entries that matched my choices, it would go ahead and ask which option I wanted. Now, all I'll do here is I'll send my message and hit enter. And at this point, it's gone over, and as long as the UC client is installed on my coworker's PC, it's gone ahead and popped up a message to them so that they know that I'm trying to get a hold of them. This is only a one-on-one. I cannot send this to, we can't have like a conference chat in here, but it's a one-to-one message and you can chat back and forth. If we choose to go to the broadcast, when you do LAN Talk and it has LAN Talk broadcast, that will send a one-way chat announcement to anybody who is currently logged into their UC client. So that's LAN Talk. It can be very, very useful if someone's on the phone and you need to get their attention. The next thing we see here is the company directory, and the company directory is going to bring up all of the extensions within your establishment. And it's going to give you some information about them. You'll see anybody here who has got the red splat, means they don't even have the UC client installed. Anyone who has another symbol, you can see that they are in office or whatever their location is. It'll tell you what their location is, your first and last name. If you hover, you can go ahead and call them if you wanted to, but it gives you some information here. It tells you that they are off the phone. If they're on the phone, you would notice it would show you in here. Now, if I choose one of these and do a right click, I can also make some additional options here. I can call them at any number that is assigned that they have set up for themselves. So if their cell phone number is set up there for them, I can go ahead and call them right at that number. I can call them and record it. So the recording starts immediately upon calling any one of these telephone numbers. I can send an email to them using whatever my default email client is. If they have text messaging set up, I can text message them. Here's another way to get to the LAN Talk that we just talked about. And we can also do a search related documents. This is basically going to search your PC for anything that has these key terms in it, Stacy Gaskell 201, or any telephone numbers associated with that person. So that is your directory. It can be quite useful if you don't have enough buttons on your phones. Most of us don't, to be able to see everybody. You can use this as part of your call control. The next thing we have available through our UC Client Manager is the Call Manager. Now, the Call Manager is extremely useful. This will also pop up if somebody calls you. Call this extension. We'll get a pop-up, and this Call Manager is what allows us to use this information. We can answer the call, answer and record it, send them right to our voicemail, put them on hold, transfer them, or remove them entirely. And from here, that allows me to control the call without ever touching my phone. Then I can go ahead and hang up. Now, once I've done that, you can see that I have additional information in my Call Manager here. It has a history of all the calls that I have received. I can call them back or I can remove them from my list. You can record, you can start out. So the Call Manager is quite a handy thing. Pops up immediately. I can send them right to my voice message. Anything I'd like to do. Okay, so that is the Call Manager itself. The next thing, we have another way to get to your call history right under the Call Manager. We can access it through the Call Manager, or if I just needed my history, I can go ahead and access it through here. And I can call back any of the If I've got a caller ID from somebody that I missed, I can just click on here and it will automatically put my phone off hook and call that person back. And we also have an event history. Right now you can see at this point we just installed this UC Client Manager, so we don't have many events actually recorded here, but we can see that time we logged in, and we can see that we sent a LAN talk message. You can clear that history and start with a clean slate if you want to, but it lets you know what's going on with your UC Client Manager. Okay, and that is all we're going to talk about in this particular video. We have one more on the settings for your UC client, and we will talk to you then.